What's up everyone, GameDad here, coming back at you with a brand new collection series, and that is the Sony PlayStation 4. Now I have a pretty solid collection built up so far for this. I'm nearing 100 games for the console, and I really like the ones that I have so far. So, come with me as I show you everything that is in part 1 today.
First up for today's video is Abdul, released by Giant Squid in 2016, and this would qualify as like a relaxation genre kind of game. It's very chill to go through, it's got awesome looking landscapes, and it's just really fun. Think Journey, but in the water. And here we have the amazing SpiderMan II, released by Beanox in 2014, and this game is not that great. It's nothing like Marvel's Spider-Man that was released many years after this. This one, just the mechanics are very, chunky, and they just don't flow very well, much like the newer one actually did. I mean, this one, it does have some cool suits and stuff like that, and it's got some engaging gameplay, but overall, not the best one. And here we have Astro Rescue Mission, released by Japan Studio in 2018. And this one I actually did a full playthrough of on Twitch. And I gotta say, this is probably one of my favorite VR games of all time. It's super engaging. It constantly breaks the fourth wall looking back at you, the player. And it's just a fun 3D virtual platforming game. And I highly recommend it. Up next is Batman Arkham VR, released by Rocksteady Studios in 2016, and this one graphically is very impressive. I will say this game is very, very short. It is fun and it's cool. It's kind of like a point-and-click adventure, but in VR, so you get a lot more, graphical interaction. But overall, I would say if you find this one on sale, buy it. If it's full price, don't. Up next is Batman Return to Arkham, released by Rocksteady Studios in 2016, and this is actually a collection with a couple of the different Arkham Knight series games. And this one, it's fun. I mean, you get multiple games all in one, and I'm not sure if they were revamped at all or updated graphically. They may have had some enhancements done, but overall, I mean, it's just fun to go back and play the Arkham series again. Here we have Battlefield Hardline, released by Visceral Games in 2015, and this one was a lot different than other Battlefield games. It was more like a cops and robbers kind of thing instead of, going to war on some actual battlefield somewhere in some other country. But, I mean, it was fun. I just don't think it was as fun as other Battlefield games. Up next is Battlefield 1, released by EA Dice in 2016, and this is by far the most realistic-looking Battlefield I've ever played. As you can see, the graphics are just crazy intense. They look amazing, and this one, obviously, it's not going to be 100% factual, but it is based on World War I, and that's pretty crazy. Up next is another VR game, and that is Battlezone, released by Rebellion Developments in 2016. And think the old, tank battle arcade games. It's like that, but totally in immersive VR, which is just awesome. The game is super fun to play. It's action-packed. It's got really pumped-up music for you, and it's just a lot of fun. If you got a PSVR, I definitely recommend picking it up. And here we have Bloodborne, released by From Software in 2015. And if you've ever played a Blood Souls game, Dark Souls, any of those, this game is just stupid hard. It's really fun. I really like the fantasy aspect that comes with all the monsters and all that stuff, very Victorian feeling. But the game is brutal, as is pretty much anything from Software. Up next is Borderlands The Handsome Collection, released by Gearbox Software in 2015, and this one comes with Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel. And I have never actually gotten around to playing through either of these games. I played the first Borderlands, but that was it. So, kind of excited to dive in and check these ones out. I've heard that Borderlands 2 is pretty good. I've heard mixed reviews on pre-sequel, though. Up next is Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, released by Sledgehammer Games in 2014, and this one was just okay. There are much better Call of Duty games in my opinion. I mean, graphically, sure, looks great. It had an okay storyline. It was kind of cool to see them modeling actual real life actors and stuff like that. But overall, I mean, it's just a Call of Duty game with way too much future tech. Up next is Crash Team Racing Nitro Field, released by Beenox in 2019. And this game is awesome. It's so much fun to go back and play a Crash racing game. And this with super updated graphics, new mechanics. The game can be quite difficult if you're not playing on an easy mode, but it's still a lot of fun. I love playing kart racing games like this. And here is Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, released by Vicarious Visions in 2017. And I love this because it's the original Crash games, just completely revamped for modern times. As you can see, Crash went in all polygonal and stuff, and it comes out looking mighty fine. So, super fun to be able to go back and replay these games just with super updated graphics. It's really fun. And here it is, Dark Souls 2 by From Software, released in 2015. The game is so stinking hard. You die so much. I remember the first time I ever picked up a Dark Souls game, the dude at the register was just like, "Have you ever played these before?" Told him no, and he just proceeded to kind of laugh and say, "Well, you're going to die." So that's pretty much what these games are, is a death simulator. Now, they do have a really cool story, though, so if you ever get the chance, definitely play them. And here we have Death Stranding, released by Kojima Productions in 2019, and I still have not had a chance to actually play this game. I'm really excited to. My backlog is finally clearing out, and I'm getting closer to playing this game, but so far still haven't done it yet. Don't know anything about the story. I stayed away from spoilers and anything like that. So, yeah. And last up, we got Destiny, released by Bungie in 2014. Now, I originally bought just Destiny, but then I also bought Destiny the Collection later on to give me all the expansion packs and content and stuff like that. So I didn't feel like showing Destiny twice, because essentially it's the same kind of thing, but still a fun game, and at least with the Taken King Collection, it's actually complete, and you can play a full story in it, so that's fun.
And there you have it, everyone. That is everything in part 1 of this new collection series. Now, be sure to stay tuned next week when we release part 2. We got a few of these coming, going through all of the different games. Now, if you saw any games on today's list, be sure to let me know down in the comments below. And while you're down there, please be sure to also hit those like and subscribe buttons, as well as that little notification bell so you get an alert every time I get a new video coming out. Now, as always, I'm GameDad. I thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you later.